Well, we're waiting for Coach Tillett, but want to welcome in preseason all-conference honoree, Kyla McMakin. Hello, Kyla.
Hi.
How are you doing this morning? We appreciate you joining us. While we wait for Coach, wanted to see if you can kind of let us in on your perspective on how preseason activities have gone since you returned to campus and getting ready for the year.
Yeah, it's been good. It's kind of a different transition, definitely with COVID and all that, but it's been good. I think the team has done a good job adjusting, especially the coaching staff has done a good job. I'm really excited. Can't wait to play.
All right, man. We do have Coach Tillett back online. The greatness of modern technology. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mark. Thanks so much for having us.
We're excited. You can kind of let us know your thoughts on how preseason prep is going. Lance also picked 6th in the preseason poll. You can kind of touch on that as well. And then we'll kind of get to some questions after that.
Yeah, thanks so much. First, just, thrilled to get in the gym with these women every day. Obviously, every team has had increased challenges this year and new adversity that we haven't faced before. And I just think their attitude towards it has been great. And the pandemic's put challenges, basketball, home life, school life, everything. And they just keep finding new ways to adapt and get closer together. In terms of the 6, preseason pick, certainly think the other coaches in the league, see what we're trying to do here. And we really appreciate, that they see that effort. And we've got big plans ahead and are looking forward to getting out there and this unique schedule this year.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll take questions for both Coach Tillett and Kyla McMakin. Please enter your name in the group chat, and we'll take them as they come in and as we await for those. Coach, yesterday, Cardasia Smith named to the Nancy Lieberman preseason watch list. Just what that means to you, to her, and to the program.
Yeah, I think first to the program, first in Big South history, this group of women is so determined to change the course of history for Longwood women's basketball, specifically in the Big South. We obviously have a storied history prior to that, but trying to get back to that. And so I think, what it does for the program and second in Big South, I think in terms of what it does for Cardasia, like just the recognition that I think she deserves. Point guards that play like her often are not recognized at that level because so much emphasis is placed on scoring. And every coach and every great player knows you need a little bit of everything to create the magic. And she certainly does that for us. And then in terms of, for me, I just want to watch each woman here chase their biggest dream. And so to see her recognized nationally is really special.
So, Kyla, for you personally, coming off a great first year last season, preseason all-conference, your reaction to that, as well as what are some areas of your game that you are looking to build on?
Oh, yeah. So, of course, last season was good. I had a lot of good coaching staff and coach who would give me the green light, something I never really had before, and then had great teammates like Dede be a great point guard. I definitely don't think I would have had the season I had without that. So, coming in this year, I just really want to have the same momentum that I have. Of course, I know it's going to be a whole lot tougher coming into this, and I think we as a team love a good challenge. So I think we're going to do a good job in competing on that level. So.
And Coach, you are in your 3rd year. What are kind of the next steps in continuing to build your program?
Yeah, I think next steps for us, we made a huge jump in terms of success last year and made some great strides on the offensive side of the ball. We have some big goals to make those same strides on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that's an area where our program has to grow in order for us to reach bigger goals, having a winning record in conference, being in the top 4, the things that every team and every coach is talking about right now. I think for us to do that specifically, we've got to make a jump in both defense and rebounding.
All right, we do have questions for you, Coach, from Brendan Boylan. Brendan, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, hope you're doing well during these crazy times. You kind of touched on it a little bit there on the defensive side. You had so much going right for you offensively, especially with the person on the screen with you just scoring lights out as a freshman. What do you have to do, and how do you take those steps to be better defensively? Does that start from the guards, or does it start more on the inside?
Great question. Yeah, I think for us defensively right now, it's everybody. We've kind of been living by a bit of a new mantra that we guard everybody. Every one of us defensively has a responsibility and we've got to do it. And, Brendan, we've approached that in every practice since we've been back together. So hopefully we're going to see, some big dividends to that investment. But it's been critical in our drill work and how we score things. This group has a tendency to make us very creative. Kyla actually has created a couple drills herself with her own creativity to help our team advance. And I think all of that, we're really hopeful is going to help us when we get into non-conference and conference play.
And just a follow-up question for both of you. With the pandemic and everything that happened, obviously everybody kind of had to learn things fairly quickly and make some very quick decisions in how the off season was going to look. How were those decisions made from the coaching staff's perspective? And as a player, how has this been for an entire locker room that's fairly young?
You want me to go first, Kyla?
It's definitely a different experience. I think we definitely had to have the mindset of no matter what, we're going to keep pushing, we're going to stay determined. And it's not like it wasn't easy. We had to do certain drills with mask on. And I don't know if you guys had a massive run, but it's very hard and it's very tough on the lungs. So, but we never had a bad attitude towards it. And I think that's one of the best things you can do in tough situations like this. I think the coaching staff did a good job making sure that we still social distance and they were still picking like tedious stuff just to keep us safe.
Yeah, I think as we were all growing through the changing, regulations and like Kyla touched on, just the attitude towards that, you can spend your time complaining about that, or you can spend your time finding ways to get better. One of our favorite moments as a staff was after we kind of got through where you were permitted to play 2-on-2 with a mask and some restrictions were released. Kyla, other leaders on our team are like, okay, Tillett, no 2-on-2 for a long time. Like just go to every other drill you have and just stay away from 2-on-2 because we had played so much of it. But we learned a lot about ourselves during that time. And I think that goes, speaks to our women's attitude towards how can we get better? Whatever the rules are, how can we get better?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brendan. Coach, if you can kind of enlighten us on the non-conference portion of your schedule, who's on the slate?
Yeah, we're excited about this, abbreviated non-conference. But we open up with Duke, which is exciting. We want to have opportunities for our women, to have different experiences. And for so many that love the game of basketball, playing at Cameron Indoor Stadium is a dream. And obviously being there in Kara Lawson's first year will have, a special meaning as well, since she's obviously someone that so many look up to. So I think that's going to be a great opener for us. We've also got George Mason on the schedule, ETSU, Howard, and then I'm forgetting one. Towson. Oh yeah, we just added Towson. So yep, Towson. So really looking forward to that. Some local opponents, regional travel, which so many teams are doing during this time to keep everybody safe. But I think we'll have some challenges, and most coaches, we want to get as many different looks as we can in the non-conference, and that'll be even more critical this year with no actual scrimmages, minimal time to evaluate your team in that really competitive environment. So really looking forward to what those teams can teach us about ourselves and have us ready to go with our opener against Radford.
So Kyla, with those opponents, which one are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, obviously Duke. I love playing bigger teams like last year we did Florida. I can't wait. It's something I think about a lot. I think it's such a great opportunity to be able to play there, play at Duke. Because growing up, those are the big schools. So I'm really excited. I can't wait. I know that we're gonna come in no matter what with confidence and ready to play.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for you both this morning. Really appreciate you taking the time with us to talk about the upcoming season. We wish you all the best. Stay safe, and we hope to see you down the road soon.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you. We will now move on to the men's side for the Longwood Lancers. Head coach Griff Aldrich and redshirt junior guard Juan Munoz both joining us. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for the time. And Coach Griff, if you would please kind of open up with a statement on how the preseason's been going so far.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having us, Mark, and thanks to everybody for jumping on. We're really excited about this year. Well, I guess I should say it's nice to see some friendly faces from many months ago. So good to see people back. Yeah, we're really excited about this season. It's been a unique year. We obviously lost quite a few experienced pieces last year with Shabuti and Sean Flood and Jay Sean Smith and Jordan Cintron. And so it's been a new year and an interesting year as kind of new guys have had different roles as they've had an opportunity to step up and kind of lead the team. And it's been a lot of fun to watch these guys coalesce together during the summer and in the early part of the year. And so it's a young team. It's a team that from playing experienced is relatively inexperienced, but probably the most talented team that we've had in my 3 years here. And in many ways, there are some signs of picking things up quickly to playing hard, things that we struggle to establish every year. I think these guys are really grasping and pursuing that at an early stage in the season. So we're excited.
Thank you, Coach, and we'll welcome in Juan Munoz joining us. Good morning, Juan. Kind of your perspective on how preseason has gone. Some of the things Coach may have mentioned, but just from your side, how it's been for you and the teammates.
It's been different. I think everyone can agree with that, just with everything that's going on. But it's been fun. The team loves playing basketball, so any drill that we could do, any kind of workout, the coaches can give us. Everybody was all in. Everybody was looking excited for it. And this preseason it's just been fun. Just knowing that we have basketball back and we have a certain date that games are starting. I think everyone's looking forward to it and everyone's been working hard. So.
Great. Now we'll take questions for both Coach Aldrich and Juan Munoz. To enter your name in the question queue, just submit a chat in the group chat, and we'll get to the questions in the order they come in. And first question is from John Tiedel for you, Juan. So go ahead, John. You might be muted, John.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Just want to know, as Coach said, you guys lost a few seniors from last year. Even though you're only a junior, is this your team or is there a bunch of other juniors and seniors to help you lead this year?
There are 3 other leaders that we have on the team. They're upperclassmen, so I'm not the only guy trying to lead the team. But everybody has their own specific role in leading our team. And I think my specific role is just I'm a redshirt junior, but I've been in college for 5 years. So I know what to expect throughout a college season. I know what college can throw at you just in life in general. And just teaching that to the younger guys and making sure they have their head on straight for this long season that we're about to have, and just making sure everyone stays focused on our main goal, which is winning and being the best team that we can be.
Thank you, John. Next question is from Mike Ashley for Coach Aldrich. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Griff. Good to talk to you again.
Hey, Mike.
I was just wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the progress that Haru Blijan is making.
Yeah, Haru's doing a great job. He's probably one of our hardest workers, and he's an incredible young man who is just unbelievably committed to trying to grow. He's a really gifted athlete, probably 6'3", 185, and very athletic. He's really worked on his shot. That's something that he continues to to improve and grow in. And I think he's really grown in his understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, both offensively and defensively. I do believe, at our level, he's at the guard position. He's about as athletic as they come, and his instincts are really good. He just has a incredible knack for impacting the game. And I think for him to grow as much in his understanding of what we're trying to do, as much as on the skill part, has been fun to watch. And he's only a sophomore, but the great thing about a young man like Haru is just his coachability and his desire to work. So I think great things are in store for him.
Griff, just to follow up, your background briefly in the area at UMBC, I'm assuming that fertile recruiting ground where you got him from is very important to the program. Could you talk a little bit about getting him?
Yeah, I mean, we actually did recruit him at UMBC as an underclassman, and so I had met his family when they had come on campus, and so when we got here at Longwood, we were looking to add guards, and so there was kind of already a built-in relationship. And there's just a lot of connectivity with relationships that we have up in that area from my UMBC days. It's an important area. I think one of the challenges with the DMV though is a lot of people recruit that area, so it's very competitive, and sometimes the most recruited areas are the toughest to get, high quality players out of. But, Haru's certainly one of them, and we're fortunate to get him.
Thanks, Griff. Have a great season.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Mike. And a question for Juan from Alex from the Rock Hill Herald. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Juan. So one thing that was interesting that you just said, and something that a lot of people around the Big South know, is you are a fifth-year junior, and that's kind of rare. Can you take us through your journey in your own words, through the injuries, and also kind of expound on what you've learned through your 5 years?
Yeah, how much time do we have for this? Because it's might be a while. But
Got about 8 minutes.
Freshman year came in, tore my right ACL. Rehab through that for 11 months or 9 months, and then got back to playing for about 3 more months after that, and then retore the same ACL again. So then it took a longer process in rehabbing, so that was about 11 months. And then right when I got back healthy, that's when Coach Aldridge came into the program, and his thing for me was just to keep working. He's never seen me play before. He didn't recruit me out of high school, so he had no idea what I could do or what I could bring to the team. But his faith in me really helped me grow as a player. As I said, it was really a slow grind that first year coming back, actually playing, just because I wasn't seeing the minutes that I wanted to see or the role that I wanted to be in. And but I just kept working every single day, and just proving the coaching staff and to the rest of the team that I belong here and that I can play. And that's slowly been my thing for the past 2 years of me playing, is just that I belong here and that I deserve the role that I've been given. So, I feel good. Knee feels fine, feels healthy. And I'm just looking forward to having a great year this year.
Alex, I want to jump in real quickly if I can. I think one of the neat things about athletics in general, and people have heard me, say this, is that athletics tests you, and it tests everybody every day. When you come to practice, Juan has had his fair share of testing, and I'm certainly excited for Juan's season. He's a terrific player, but I think what should be celebrated as much as how he's come back physically is his growth as an individual. There was a question from John about his leadership and his team. Juan is a different person than he was 2 years ago, and his growth off the court, I think, is as responsible for his growth on the court, in my opinion. I think he has matured in incredible ways over his 2 years, and so, yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for me with how well he's playing, and for the team. But I think, equally important is the growth, that we've seen in Juan as a young man. He's not that young anymore. I mean, yeah, we joke he's the only guy who's going to leave college and go right into Social Security. So,
Juan, if I could just ask one follow-up question. You kind of glossed over, you said, okay, I tore my ACL and then 11 months went by, and then I tore my other ACL and then another 11 months went by. 11 months is a substantial period of time, and it's an opportunity for growth individually. I mean, take me through what it was like the second time. We could talk about the first time for forever, and we can do that in another sort of medium. But the second time, when you're out for the year, the game is taken away from you. Kind of what did that feel like, and how was that different from the first time?
It was tough. It was way different from the first time, just because I thought my rehab process the first time was the right way. I thought I did everything right. I put in a lot of hours. In the training room, on the court, just to get back healthy, just to play. So it was really saddening for me. I think for like the first 2 months of that rehab process, I really didn't attack it right, just because I was in a different state. I just thought about basically just giving up basketball as a whole, just because those are two serious injuries, and I was just in a different state. But I had the right people around me to help me stay focused on what I really wanted to do. And they all know I love to play basketball. So they all encouraged me to keep going. And I really appreciate them for encouraging me to stay focused and stay on track with basketball.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Coach Griffin Juan.
Appreciate
Thank you, Alex. Next question for Coach Aldrich from Brock Bowling. Go ahead, Brock.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for the time. I had to step away for a little while ago, so hopefully it hasn't already been asked. But I think I saw on your roster 17 players, I think, on this year's team. Are all those players going to be active, or will some be sitting out this year?
Yeah, we'll have several who will redshirt. Several of the freshmen. I think Lorenz Boykin and Dean Lockley will be the two that will likely redshirt, both walk-on players. But they'll redshirt this year. But everybody else should be active.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Brock. And Coach, as we wrap up this morning, if you can walk us through your non-conference schedule.
Sure. Yeah, we open up with an MT at Wake Forest. I think we start with Alabama State and then play Delaware State and then Wake in that lineup. Then we've got North Carolina A&T, and then we play Radford at Radford in our doubleheader. Then we have the Citadel, and then also finish up with Virginia Tech on the road. Yeah, they're not coming to Farmville.
Well, Coach Juan, that's all the time we have for you this morning. We appreciate you joining us. We wish you the best of luck this season. Stay healthy, stay safe. And we look forward to seeing you down the road during the season.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.